Your brain is lying to you right now. You think you're stuck. You think there's no way forward. You stare at your problem and it stares back. Blank, empty, impossible. But here's what they don't teach you in school. The problem isn't real. The problem is that your brain is running on power-saving mode. And in 1986, a man named Brian Tracy cracked the code to override it. Let me show you something that'll change how you solve every problem for the rest of your life. Brian Tracy was obsessed with one question. Why do some people see solutions everywhere while others stay paralyzed? He studied thousands of successful entrepreneurs, inventors, CEOs, and he found a pattern, a protocol. Something so simple it sounds stupid, but so powerful that once you use it, you can't go back. He called it brainstorming. But that name doesn't capture what it actually does. This isn't about creativity. This is about forcing your neural networks to stop protecting you from the truth. Here's the foundation. When you face a problem, your conscious mind tells you there's no solution. Maybe one or two options at best. Dead ends. But Tracy discovered something the neuroscience community later confirmed. For every problem you face, there are always at least 20 viable solutions. Always, not 5, not 10, 20 minimum. You don't see them because your brain won't show them to you. Think about that. Your mind is an energy conservation machine. It evolved over millions of years with one prime directive: save glucose. Thinking burns calories. Real thinking, the kind that generates novel solutions, is metabolically expensive. So your brain has developed a shortcut system. It feeds you the first 3 to 5 ideas that pop up from your memory banks. Recycled thoughts. Patterns you've seen before. Safe. Familiar. Useless. These aren't solutions. They're neural screensavers. The genius ideas, the ones that actually change your situation, live deeper. They're locked behind what Tracy called the resistance barrier. Your subconscious mind hoards them like a dragon hoarding gold. And it won't release them unless you force the issue. So Tracy designed a protocol, a mental forcing function. 20 answers, no exceptions. Here's how it works. You take a blank sheet of paper, not your phone, not a laptop. Paper. The physical act of writing activates different neural pathways than typing. This matters more than you think. At the top of the page, you write your problem as a question, not a statement. A question. How do I double my income in 3 months? How do I fix my relationship with my sister? How do I escape this dead-end job? Make it specific, make it real, and then you sit down. You don't get up, you don't check your phone, you don't grab coffee, you stay in that chair and you write 20 different answers to that question. Not 19, not 15, 20, no matter how long it takes. This is where most people fail. They write 5 answers and think they're done. They've squeezed the lemon dry, right? Wrong. They haven't even scratched the surface. The first 10 answers come easily. They're your brain's default responses. The obvious stuff. Work harder. Ask for a raise. Network more. These are the answers your conscious mind has been cycling through for weeks. They're comfortable. They're also why you're still stuck. Answers 11 through 15 start getting difficult. Your brain resists. You feel stupid. The ideas sound ridiculous. Start a side hustle selling, I don't know, custom socks? You feel like you're wasting time. This is the resistance barrier. This is where amateurs quit, don't quit. Push through to 16, 17, 18. This is where your neurons start firing in unfamiliar patterns. You're forcing your brain to explore solution space it normally ignores. The prefrontal cortex recruits areas it doesn't usually talk to. The default mode network shuts down. You enter what neuroscientists call cognitive foraging mode. You're hunting now. And then something strange happens around answer 19 and 20. Your hand writes something you didn't consciously think. An idea surfaces that makes you pause. Wait, could that actually work? That's your subconscious finally giving up the goods. Thomas Edison understood this principle instinctively. He said, "To get one good idea, you need to have lots of ideas." He didn't mean 5 ideas. He generated thousands, because he knew that genius isn't about being smarter than everyone else. It's about having the discipline to excavate deeper than everyone else is willing to dig. Tracy's protocol does this excavation in 30 minutes. But here's the critical rule that most people miss. You cannot judge the ideas while you're writing them. This isn't evaluation mode. This is generation mode. Write down the stupid ideas. Write down the impossible ideas. Write down rob a bank if that's what comes to mind. You're not going to do it. But you need to get it out of your system so your brain can move past it. Judgment kills creativity. Judgment activates your anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's error detection system. Once that lights up, your idea generation circuits shut down. You go back into defensive mode, back into power-saving mode, so you write. Fast, messy, stream of consciousness. 20 answers, no filter. And when you're done, you step away. You take a walk, you make that coffee. You let your mind rest for an hour. Then you come back and read your list with fresh eyes. What you'll find is this. Hidden among the 20 answers are usually 3 to 5 genuinely good ideas. Ideas you would never have accessed through normal problem solving. And often, that 20th answer, the one you struggled to birth, contains the seed of something transformative. I've tested this protocol on everything. Business problems, creative blocks, relationship issues, career decisions. It works with terrifying consistency. Every single time, answer 17 through 20 contains something valuable. Why does this work when everything else fails? Because you're hacking the architecture of thought itself. Your brain operates on what neuroscientists call the path of least resistance. When you ask it a question, it searches recent memory first, then semantic memory, then procedural memory, but it stops searching the moment it finds an acceptable answer. Good enough is the enemy of breakthrough. The 20-answer protocol doesn't let your brain off that easy. You're telling it, good enough isn't good enough. Keep searching. And eventually, it has no choice but to access deeper memory structures. Association networks you haven't touched in years. Childhood experiences. Random observations. Dream logic. Things you read once and forgot. This is where innovation lives. In the connections your conscious mind considers irrelevant. Steve Jobs called it connecting the dots. But you can't connect dots you can't see. The 20-answer method makes the invisible dots visible. There's another layer to this that Tracy understood but never fully explained. The act of writing 20 answers changes your relationship with the problem itself. When you start, the problem feels monolithic, overwhelming. By answer 20, you've looked at it from 20 different angles. You've rotated the object in mental space. The problem hasn't changed. But your perception of it has shattered and reformed. What felt impossible now feels solvable, not easy, but solvable. That shift in perception is everything. And here's what the self-help industry won't tell you. This method only works if you actually do it. Not think about doing it, not plan to do it. Actually sit down, paper and pen, and grind through 20 answers even when it hurts. Most people read about this technique and nod and move on. They tell themselves they'll try it later. They never do, because doing it requires confronting the fact that they've been operating at fractional capacity their entire lives. Your brain has been running on energy saver mode, and now you know how to wake it up. 30 minutes, 1 sheet of paper, 20 answers. That's the price of clarity. The question isn't whether this works. The question is whether you're willing to sit in the discomfort of answers 13 through 19 long enough to reach the breakthrough waiting at 20. Because here's the truth they don't tell you about stuck. Stuck isn't a position. It's a choice. You're not stuck because there's no path forward. You're stuck because you stopped looking after answer 3. This isn't a productivity hack. This is a neurological forcing function. You're overriding your brain's default settings. You're demanding it show you what it's been hiding. And once you see it, once you experience that moment when answer 19 or 20 cracks open a door you didn't know existed, you can't unsee it. You can't go back to accepting your brain's first lazy answer. You become someone who knows how to extract solutions from the darkness. Tracy gave us the map in 1986. The territory hasn't changed. Your problems still have 20 solutions minimum. The resistance barrier is still there. The breakthrough still waits on the other side. The only variable is you, and whether you're willing to spend 30 minutes proving to yourself that you've had the power all along. You were just never taught how to access it. Now you are.